June, and that means summer is finally coming. This is the Sportsline Podcast on the CHCH and Parrot Media channels. Appreciate you watching and listening. I'm Bubba O'Neill. Folks, you know we love highlighting players, coaches, media, and events from our province that are making big strides internationally. And seeing that the RBC Canadian Open is a national championship, let's dig a little deeper. In many ways, these particular individuals are the heartbeat of professional golfers. Inside left, 3 balls to the right, grip it and rip it. Folks, an established caddie can be a tactician, a psychologist, or even a provider of tough love. In the case of Canadian Nick Taylor, his right-hand man, Dave Markle, is just a perfect fit of personality, passion, and knowledge.
Left the flag stick in with the maple leaf flag. Good pace. Are you serious? Oh my goodness! Glorious and free!
Dave, I'll tell you, do you ever get tired of seeing that shot?
Hey, Bubba. No, I certainly don't get tired of seeing that shot and listening to where Canadians were during the moments when the putt went in. It's a pretty exciting moment, obviously, for Nick, and grateful to be there with him and be a part of it. And, I think Canadians feel the same way. It's a pretty iconic moment in Canadian sports, right?
It really is an iconic moment. I mean, so much that they redesigned the Canadian Open logo. And what really I appreciate about that is if you watch it, and I've had an opportunity at a TV station to watch it over and over again from so many different angles. But if you watch the crowd reaction and your reaction, it was just so pure.
Yeah, it was, it was one of those things where Nick was trying to put the best stroke on it and get it up there as close to the hole as he can. And if it goes in, great. I think the focus was to kind of put the pressure back on Tommy, and he had a great putt, and it went right in the middle, and the rest is history, right?
I have to ask you though, how much of your advice did he take on that putt?
Well, you know what? You'll have to ask him that. We kind of read it together, I think, and then he gets up there and he executes, and he's just kind of got a knack for doing it under the pressure in those playoffs. And it's amazing to kind of be out there with him and help him in any way I can. But he's the guy that's doing it and getting it done when he needs to get it done.
The Canadian Open is such a unique week for, I would think, so many Canadian caddies and players. And it's a busy week for you, but I'm sure it must be great to be home for yourself. You're not too far away from home yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I grew up about 35 minutes up the road from here in Shelburne, Ontario. So Nick's never been to Osprey, TPC Toronto before, but I've played probably a dozen times over the years, and maybe 3 or 4 times the course that we're playing. So it's nice. We've got family coming into town, and obviously with the moment a couple years ago, we're hoping to be ready and provide another moment for Canada to celebrate, right?
I mean, you would normally not be doing interviews like this one. I know you've been busy all day talking to media. Is that a little bit of a hit or a miss? I mean, I guess it's kind of good to be home.
Yeah, for sure. It's different. The reason I am talking to media today is I partnered with Sleeman, and on their Real Ones campaign, they're trying to celebrate people behind the scenes that, like caddies, their connection with golf, that, do the little kind of day-to-day things in order to help the team kind of be at their best. And it's kind of what we try to do out here as caddies. We've got many roles, and we're a lot of different hats, and we're just kind of trying to support our guy and help him kind of be his best when he needs to be his best. And anyways, so with Sleeman, we're trying to help clean up Canada's golf game. So people can send swing videos to Sleeman on their Instagram for the month of June, and I'm going to analyze and help kind of send some feedback back to Canadians and some tips on their swing, and hopefully get them kind of hitting it straight and hitting it good this summer.
Well, I got the big man lefty swing. I can hit it far, but not too accurately. So maybe you can help me out. I'll send you the video. Okay.
Hey, send one in, and I'll try to give you a hand.
All right. Hey, you're coming off a real good week in Dublin, the Memorial Tournament, a fourth place finish, 6 back of Scheffler, who's like the new Tiger Woods these days. It's incredible the way he's playing. But it's got to be a great feeling coming into a national championship that Nick is playing real well.
Yeah, absolutely. The golf course was set up very difficult last week. It's a stressful kind of course, shot after shot. There's no really let up until you're done, and in the locker room after. And it's going to be a great test this week as well. The golf course is in great shape, and we're looking forward to another opportunity. And Nick's game is in great shape coming in here, and I know he's excited to be back here, and we're always kind of got this date circled on our calendar to come back to Canada, and it's a special one being Canadian, and for me this year too, being this close to where I grew up, and it's always great to be in Canada, and we're going to give it our best again this year.
I look at the relationships over the years with so many professional golfers, with the golfer and the caddy, and some relationships work 6 months. Some last 60 years. You guys have been together, and I think I've always wanted to ask this question. Is it we? Is it me? Is it Nick? How do you guys work that relationship?
Yeah, it's, obviously, like I said, Nick's the guy that's hitting the shots out here. His name's on the golf bag. He's the pro. He knows what he's doing. My job is to support him. We've been friends for a long time, actually. He beat me in the quarterfinals of the, I think, 07 Canadian AM. So, and he went on to win that week, but we remained good friends after that, or became good friends after that. Played a bit on the Canadian Tour together. World amateur team in Australia. I remember where I was when he called me and told me him and his wife are going to get married, and I probably had a few too many Sleemans at his wedding that night, and we had a good time, and it's different. Every caddy player dynamic is a little bit different, but there's some instances where it's maybe you don't know the guy and it's kind of just a job both ways, but we've got a special relationship that we've had for years, and I think that's why maybe he's played well. I hope it helps, and it's just grateful to be out there with him, and we've had some pretty awesome moments together.
Well, I'm glad you talked a little bit about your actual playing days. And I got to ask you, what is going on out of Kent State University? Here in Hamilton, we cheer for Mackenzie Hughes. Of course, Corey Connors is, top of the notch in terms of Canadian golfers in the eyes of many. Taylor Pendrith, Moreland the fourth, after going way back. And then I investigated, and then I'd see John Mills as the current head coach right now. What is the Canadian connection that's going on with Kent State University and these Canadian golfers that are pumping it out to the PGA?
Yeah, that's right. Full credit there goes to Coach Herb Page at Kent State. He's a Markham boy. He went to college at Kent State University. I think he played soccer, golf, and hockey for the Golden Flashes. And after he was done university at Kent State, he might have started coaching the soccer team for a little bit, and then got on the golf team, and he was a coach there for 40 years, and just kind of pipeline in from Canada, and he built the program up to what it is today. And he's actually shout out to him, he's diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the fall, so he's been kind of battling it, and I know Taylor went and saw him a week or two ago, and that lifted his spirits, and I think he's doing pretty well, but he's the one that gets all the credit for the boys coming through Kent State, and it's nice to see the school well represented out here, and the guys are, all the Golden Flashes are playing great.
You qualified for a Canadian Open as a golfer. You've made the cut at PGA tournaments. Why become a caddy? What made you? I mean, that's a big decision to actually change from playing and having all the hopes and dreams, going to university and playing it, being as competitive as you are, making that switch. Yeah. Why?
Well, I never made a cut at a PGA Tour event, or else maybe I'd still be playing. But I qualified for one in 2012 at Hamilton and missed a cut-by shot. I had played for 7 or 8 years professionally once I was done at Kent State University. Loved it, and I just needed kind of a bit of a change, and ended up club caddying down at Cabot Links and in Nova Scotia. And I got a phone call one day from my old mental coach who was working with a player on the LPGA Tour, and he said, she needs some help out here. Do you want to come out and caddy for her? And at the time, I didn't know kind of where I was headed with things or what I wanted to do. I think, putting the clubs down and not playing again was a little scary for me. But, I just kind of said yes to the opportunities that popped up, and you just try to do your best by them, and new opportunities kind of present themselves, right? So I think we get wrapped up too much in what things should look like instead of just kind of seizing opportunities and, doing your best, right?
Are you happy with the choice?
I am. Yeah. I wouldn't really trade it for anything. It's, I worked for a good friend initially, Michael Blagek from Kitchener, Cambridge area, who played out here for a few years, and then was fortunate enough to get on with Nick, and like I said before, we've kind of been able to share memories with him and moments with him that it's pretty special to do that with a good friend, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
We showed the Canadian Open from a couple of years ago. I'm going to have to ask you this, and this is just an emotional question. We talk about this in all of sport, the beauty of winning and the beauty and the sometimes beauty of losing as well, too, and what you can learn from it. Because golf is such an individual sport, what's that feeling for yourself as a former golfer and as a caddy working with a golfer of winning a golf tournament?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, you work hard for a lot of years to try to get out here, and then, it's funny how it works out. You're able to kind of, use some of your experiences as a player to try to help your guy kind of get over the finish line out here. And, there's a lot of days where, especially coming down the stretch, like this moment in Hawaii and in Canada last year, you feel so in the moment that you're almost, contending when you're playing, but obviously you're not the guy out there that's executing and hitting the shots, but you're all in it, and it's a great feeling when your guy does it, and it's been great.
It looks fun. It really does look fun, because I think people forget sometimes that a golf tournament consists of 4 straight days of playing golf at not just an average level. Unless you go real low one day, you've got to be just so consistent. And of course, with that too, there could be weather, and also what I would think you would probably have to help with is that mental game.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of different factors. It's tough to win out here, right? We're seeing Scotty Scheffler, him and Rory have they've won a lot, but they still, like a good career. Nick's won 5 times in almost 300 events, and he's had a great career. And, I definitely believe that he's got more wins in the tank. We haven't seen his best yet, but it's tough to win. And, there's a lot that goes into it, and timing, and you can play great and just get beat one week, or somebody else is hotter than you are. But Nick's game is trending in the right direction, obviously, and we're looking forward to the week.
TPC Toronto North course in Caledon. What's this course like?
It's good. It's I played here a few times over the years, and they've changed it in recent years. They've added some length to it. It's semi-generous in spots off the tee, but it's definitely a second shot course, kind of slopey greens. I think the wind will blow a little bit. I hope it does. It'll keep this course down a little bit, but it's going to be a good test for the guys. And it's another week. It doesn't really matter where you're playing. This is a great one to be at, though, but each week is an opportunity for the guys to kind of, get better and learn about themselves a little bit more. Right?
Is it one of those?
It's a great venue. We're looking forward to it, and the feedback's been good from the guys so far, and it's going to be here this year, and we're coming back next year too. So it's a nice home for the next couple of years, and maybe beyond that.
Is it one of those courses where we're going to see the competitors, or at least the top of the leaderboards on Sunday and 20 under or 15 under, or is it maybe much closer to what a U.S. Open would be, maybe where you're just scratching par?
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere in between. I don't think the rough's quite long enough to be like a U.S. Open, just because it's early in the season here in Canada. But if there is a bit of wind, it's going to be probably mid-teens, I would say. Depends on how much wind there's going to be. There's some tough par fours for sure, over 500 yards, and a couple good par threes. And there's not a ton of opportunities out here, but these guys are so good that they'll create opportunities, and they'll make the birdies when maybe they shouldn't be making them. And it'll be an entertaining week for sure coming down the stretch.
Dave, let me throw one more at you here. I found this on your bio on one of your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever it was, and I was so intrigued by this saying. Just be you, shots gained, altitude. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, just be you. I try to live by that and just be yourself, day to day, and be real, like Sleeman is trying to celebrate the real ones. And I would hear it's shots gained attitude goes a long way. It's a kind of a saying that, they measure shots gained approach or off the tee, and it's kind of it's a stat that you can't measure. But I think a great attitude is almost like a 15th club out here at times, and it goes a long way. And it's definitely, a great mindset is the difference between winning and losing. And if you look at the best players in the world, it's what they do the best is, sounds corny, but it's good self-talk and not kind of yapping at yourself as much between shots, and just being ready to hit the next shot and squeeze the most out of each opportunity, each shot. Right. So yeah, big, you gotta be good between the ears to win out here and to give yourself chances to win out here, right?
Well, Dave, I'm telling you, if I was a professional golfer, which of course I'm not, but I will say this, I would want you on my bag. Like you just get it. I mean, so I really appreciate your time. Good luck to you and Nick. 4 days of golf coming up right here, the National Open. So exciting. Welcome back home on top of that too. We certainly hope to see you down the stretch on Sunday.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it, and yeah, we hope to be in the fight coming down the stretch and give Canada another moment. Appreciate your time.
All right. Appreciate your time as well, too. Hey, folks, as you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports with people who are making a difference on the local, provincial, and, of course, this week, right here in our province on the national scene. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline Podcast, we want to hear from you. Contact us at CHCH and let's chop it up. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate your feedback at all times. For the great people that produce the Sportsline Podcast, thank you so very much, and we'll see you soon.